Hi guys, I'm Chronically Jenny and welcome back to the 2020 Dysautonomia Awareness Month video series. In this video, we wanted to talk to those who have been newly diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is the condition that all of us in this video live with. I asked my dysautonomia warriors from around the world to share their one piece of advice they'd give to someone who is newly diagnosed with POTS. For me, this is a strange one because one of my best friends is actually going through the process of trying to be diagnosed with POTS since developing symptoms earlier in the year. And I actually really struggled to know what to say to her. It's been over 5 years since I've been diagnosed now, and I don't really remember what it feels like at the start. I'm quite well medicated and well managed, and I have flare-ups, of course, but I don't remember what it's like to feel that bad every single day. The one piece of advice I always give anyone with POTS, my first piece of advice that I always tell people to do, and I've probably repeated this loads across my social media and my blog, get a shower stall. So many people put it off because it looks like a medical aid and it's not the prettiest of things, but it will change your life. I still struggle with showering even today, but having a seat in there makes it so much easier. You don't have to sit on the floor and struggle, and you don't have to stand up and struggle. The thing with POTS and showering is that there are three things that make POTS really difficult. One of those is standing up, we know that. Another one is heat. Many people with POTS have a heat intolerance. And the other one is putting your hands in the air because it means that more blood has to go up higher. So if you can eliminate one of those things, which is the standing, then you're doing much better than you were before. So I urge you, if you have POTS and don't have a shower stall or somewhere to sit nicely and comfortably in the shower, get one. Do it now.
My best piece of advice for new patients or friends and family would be to just have patience. Ultimately, you'll need this as a tool to get through the days ahead, and respectfully, the patient and the friends and family of the patient need to all adhere to the golden rule of patience.
And something that I want to share if you're newly diagnosed is that the online community is incredible. They have wisdom from dealing with these things for a long time, and sometimes they have great doctors to recommend, great books to read, other great resources, but also just general support and love and understanding that you might not be able to get other places. For me, it's been irreplaceable.
My one piece of advice I probably give people who are newly diagnosed with any form of dysautonomia is that to forgive yourself. There's going to be times that your illness gets in the way of doing fun things that you loved, that you used to do, your future plans and dreams, and it's going to be really frustrating and you're going to be angry and upset, and that's totally okay to feel that way. It's totally fine and acceptable, but forgive yourself after. You're dealing with a beast of an illness. It is not a very nice illness to have. It takes everything out of you, but you didn't ask for this. You didn't ask to be ill. You didn't ask for these symptoms to get in the way of the things that you love. So forgive yourself for what you're going through. You're doing amazing just by waking up every day, and your body still does amazing things for you. It's still here for you. It's your home, and I know that sometimes it goes a bit loopy and not how you want it, but it's still working hard to keep you here, and that's the main thing. So just forgive yourself for all the things that you can't do or you wish to do, because there will be other things that come up that you can do, and it's not certain that you're not going to be able to do those things, but just keep trying and forgive yourself.
My advice for someone that's been newly diagnosed would be to take a bit of time to just get to know what your symptoms are, like in relation to POTS, and what your triggers are. You won't always have triggers. I find that sometimes with my POTS it just happens, like comes out of nowhere, but it can just be really helpful to just get to know it a little bit better, because certainly for me, for a long time it was always put down to things like anxiety, and never really given a proper name. And so when I found out that I had POTS, it was like this whole new like diagnosis and ball game. And yeah, I just needed a bit of time to kind of understand the condition a bit more, understand what the symptoms were, and also to kind of accept that I was right and that there was something physical wrong. And I think that takes a little bit of time. So yeah, I would just say allow yourself time to just get your head around the diagnosis and to kind of read a little bit about it, to ask questions about it, to talk to other people who've got it, and to just kind of, get your like head kind of around the whole the whole new thing. For people, like for family and friends of someone that's been diagnosed, my biggest piece of advice would be to give them time and to understand that just because they've got a diagnosis doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're going to be better. I think when people, like when I got diagnosed with things, people kind of assumed like, oh, you've got a diagnosis, so yeah, like that's great, now let's just get on with it. But really, like getting the diagnosis is just like the first step. And with POTS, you know, it's a chronic illness, it's not necessarily going to get better or go away. And so I think it's really important for the people around you to understand that, and to understand that you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but that it is a chronic illness. So, you know, just stick with the person, be there for them, listen to what, like if they need to speak, if they need to talk to you, listen to them. And I think that's the thing that I want most from the people around me, is to just be there, because you lose so many like family, and well, not, I've been quite lucky, you know, with my family, but you lose so many friends when you're chronically ill. So the best thing you can do is just be there for somebody.
My piece of advice for someone who has newly been diagnosed: don't be afraid to use mobility aids. A shower chair or a wheelchair can really help you with your daily tasks. I used to shower standing up, and my blood pooling was the worst. I would have to lie down in bed for like an hour, maybe 2, after I took a shower. And the shower chair really helped me live my life in a better way.
If you're newly diagnosed with POTS or trying to find your diagnosis, I really hope that some of those tips and tricks were really helpful. You can find more by visiting my blog, chronicallyjenni.com, where I've got a whole article of some of my favourite products that help me with my POTS on a daily basis. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe, and please share with anyone who you think this video might help. I'll see you very soon for another Dysautonomia Awareness Month video.